It is time to set up my journals and my planners for the month of August, but I'm not going to be actually filming those setups today. Instead, I'm going to be chatting about what I have to do to set up each one of these and maybe coming up with a setup schedule. Stay tuned to find out more information on what that all means. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. My name is Tracy and I have a lot of planners, a lot of journals. And it is now July 30th at nighttime. So I have less than 36 hours until the start of the month. And none of these are really set up. I did redate this one about like 30 minutes ago. And this is a brand new to me planner, so I decided to add this to my lineup about an hour ago, and I went ahead and set up the monthly calendar. But other than that, nothing else has been touched. So the reason why I decided to film this video was because I was like completely stressed out about that. I was like, oh my goodness. I have like stacks and stacks of things that I need to now set up for the month. And yes, I have a lot of planners. A lot of people don't have a lot of planners, but a lot of people do. And it gets kind of stressful because not only do you have the month to set up for, but you still have to set up for the next week. So it's like, am I going to have to spend like half of my day Sunday, August the 3rd, setting up my month and my weeks? Oh no. So I figured to try to prevent that from happening in like September, for the month of September, I'm going to go ahead and like start trying to like game plan if any of these planners can be set up sooner. And I figure a way to do that is to kind of talk about what the setup entails. So let's start with the journals, because I feel like there is a little bit more flexibility when it comes to journals. Now, these are the 4 journals that I use for more of like memory keeping or tracking in some way, shape, or form on a monthly basis. I have other journals, but they are more whenever I feel like it basis. So this is why these are the ones that are kind of, I'm going to be talking about today. I do have a goals journal, but that has now kind of gone off to the side for the time being. But with that said, I don't really think I can brainstorm either a setup, because that does change, or when I could actually fill this in, because it probably does need to be done at the end of the month, or at the end of the month prior to when you're setting the goals. All right, so let's talk about these. All right, first let's talk about this one, because this one probably has the most flexibility in it, and I have already started implementing some of that flexibility, which means this is the one journal that I'm not like, oh, I need to set up for the month of August. And the reason why is I just set up for the month of July. This is my currently journal. This is where I do all of those currently prompts, like, you know, when I'm planning for, when I'm binge watching, stuff like that. This one, I'm trying to keep everything on my desk so I don't have to keep reaching for it, but my desk is not that big. This one, I was thinking I would set it up closer to the end of the month, but then I'm like, that's when I have to set up all my other ones. So I did move this closer to the middle of the month, or the late middle of the month. Plus it's a fun creative outlet for me, so I don't really stress about this one. Worst case scenario, if I hadn't already set up July, I can set up July in the middle of August. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But I think I'm gonna kind of keep the same setup schedule when it comes to this currently journal. I would like to fill this out soon so I don't forget what I did this month and what my favorites were this month. Although I'm doing a better job of recording that in like my daily. But like when it comes to setting up for August, I'll probably set it up sometime in the middle of the month. That's like a very, in the planner world, the middle of the month is a little less busy than the beginning and end when it comes to setups. This one, like I said, I'm already doing that, so it's not that big of a deal. This one is also a planner that, while I have yet to set it up for the month of August, and I have to set it up like within the next 2 days for the month of August. I guess I don't have to, but I really need to. This is one that I think I should be setting up earlier in the month. So again, this could be a mid-month setup for the following month type thing. This is my 3-year prompt-based journal. So I have videos, by the way, on like the initial setups as well as monthly setups for most of these journals. Actually, I think all of the journals and the planners, except for a new one, on my channel. So definitely check out my playlist if you want more information on any of the specifics regarding these journals, because there's a lot to go through and I kind of just want to focus on those monthly setups today. So in this journal, I did set up, thank goodness, at the beginning or at the end of last year, I went ahead and put in 25, 26, and 27 stickers down. So when I come in to actually prep for the month, what I need to do is pick 12 writing prompts, and I put one writing prompt at the top of each page. I then usually pick some kind of decorative sticker book, which has been florals. I think there's one prompt I haven't done yet. So I think I can show you guys. Yep, here it is. 2 prompts. I'll pick out something, and that's how I base my colors that I smear all over the page. But I write the prompt, I add a few stickers around it to make it look cute, and then I'll just do the dividers. I only have to do this 12 times, but it does take a while. It surprisingly takes probably close to an hour, just because I have to think about those 12 prompts, and I don't really want to repeat a lot of the prompts. So I would prefer to pick prompts that I hadn't used. So for like August, I want to pick now a prompt that I've never used for this entire year. So it becomes a lot harder as the months go on. I'm fine. Probably some of them are good prompts and need to be repeated, but I have to pick out the prompts. And then I usually like to pick out some kind of decorative element, and then I need to write the prompts, decorate it, and then I'm done. With that said, I could technically, so I'm going to come in here within the next 2 days and set up for the month of August. I probably will not be filming a setup video of that. I do these typically every other month I'd film the videos for. But as I say what I think I'm going to do, I might not be able to do that in September either. Because what I think I might do is set up for August. And then one day when I come in here to write, I might be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and pick my prompts for September. So that's already knocked one thing out the way. And then maybe another day I'll come in here and write in my prompt. I'm like, you know what? Today is a good day to go ahead and decorate. So I think I can go ahead and decorate for the future months at any point. At any point in the future, I can just come in and decorate. So in theory, I can pick my prompts and start decorating it on like August the 7th, you know? So I think this is one of the journals that I want to start setting up early to mid-month for the next month, just because I think I can set it up, get it out the way, and have it not feel as much like a chore. Now this is my memory keeping stats tracker book, specifically for social media. This one is very quick to set up. It's like a 15-minute setup, okay? If that. Usually it's 15 minutes if I'm filming a video. But if I'm just sitting down popping stickers on a page, it's like 5 minutes, because this is my setup. So this is my setup for July. Typically I will not set up for August until after August gets here. And I will set up for the month of August when I come in here to fill in for the month of July. And I need to wait until the start of August so I can have my final stats and stuff like that to write in here for July. So this one pretty much does need to be set up at the very beginning of the month that I'm setting it up for. I don't really think there's as much change that can happen. I don't really think I want to put pressure on scheduling this one, because like I said, it's really a 5 to 15 minute setup. There's really no thought behind it. It's just like, let's make it look cute. Let's try to stick to like the nostalgia theme. So sometimes it takes me longer to pick out the stickers than it actually takes me to decorate. So this one I just kind of brought up because it is something I have to think about when it comes to a monthly setup, but I'm only doing a 2-page kind of fun decorative spread, no calendars or anything involved. So, you know, this one, it can stay where it is. Now this is my reading journal. This year I don't have as much wiggle room, but I think I'm going to change how I lay things out in 2026, which means I can set it up at different times. But the thing that I have to set up this year is I need to set up pretty much these pages And at times, if there's a really big readathon that I really want to go all out and do a pretty big spread, I might set up a 6-page spread. But usually at the beginning of the month, I'll add the calendar. I'll kind of add my TBRs for any readathons I'm going to do that month. And then I might throw some stickers on the page to kind of prep for what I need to fill in for the end of the month. Yeah, so again, this one is fun to set up. I would probably prefer to set it up when I'm in the mood to set it up, which means at any time. So like for September, if I feel like setting it up because there's a readathon I want to do in September and I want to set it up on August 10th, I would love to be able to do that. However, I have my book reviews lumped in with the months, so it kind of prevents me from doing that because I just don't know how many books I'm going to read. Even though, let's say I read 2 books in the first week, I may hit a huge reading slump, and I don't want to like save 3 empty pages because I might not use them. So this one right now, unfortunately, I think through the end of the year, it needs to be a like last week of the month type setup. I think I'm safe to kind of guess how many pages I need or how much space I need at the end of the month. I mean, at the last week of the month. But I do like to set this up preferably prior to the month because of this calendar and then this TBR, because it just helps me like just kind of flow into reading. I guess you could say. That's it with my journals. I just wanted to touch on those because as someone who uses journals and planners, I felt like they are part of the things I need to think about in my brain when it comes to setups. So that's the reason why I'm chatting about them. All right, this one is going to have to stay around the same time that I'm currently setting it up. I would prefer not to do it on the last day of the month or the first day of the new month. But it would still probably have to wait until that very last week of the month. This is my fitness and wellness planner. And the reason why I say I would prefer to wait until the very end of the month to fill it out for the next month isn't because of the calendar, because this is just a tracker. So the only thing I have to do here is date it. I do like to select some monthly focus areas. So if I want to, work out so many times a week and do so many types of workouts, I would like to kind of put that in. I also, along those same lines, like to do goals. There is a place in here to write the goals. I do think I'm going to switch it up and use some of these pages for goals. But because I am thinking about goal-related stuff, I don't want to set it up too far in advance because, sometimes my goals change from day to day. So I would like to do this as close to the end of the month as possible. So like that last full week of the month is like, I think that's an acceptable time, and that has kind of what's worked in the past. This is probably the latest that I've done a setup, and I haven't even set it up yet. I will film this. I always film my health and wellness setups with you guys, even though the goals may stay the same. I still like to film them. So this should be coming up fairly soon. And with that said, I don't think I can change when I set that one up. This is also a setup that I will be filming with you guys. And this is also something that I don't think I can change too much. So this is my finance tracker. I do these printables in advance, so I don't really have to worry about that. I don't do anything to the calendar. The calendar is what it is. It just is there as a tab. As I said, I will be setting this up on camera because I like to decorate it, and I feel like Plan With Me's are always more fun when you can add stickers as far as the videos go. So this needs to be set up. This could also get set up the last week of the month. It doesn't have to be set up at the beginning of the current month or anything of that nature. This again is going to be heavily decorated, but as a finance tracker, this is where I kind of set up any financial to-dos or financial related to-dos for the month. And we'll say set up some spending parameters. I don't really want to say budgets, but some spending parameters. So again, with that said, this should be set up prior to the start of the month. But when I do my Plan With Me and my setup, even if I didn't film it, I would go ahead and decorate or set up the entire 6 pages of this monthly. It's a really quick setup because it's super functional, so it doesn't take that much time. But with that said, that quick setup is still probably about an hour. And when I say an hour, that includes me like filming, decorating, and then going back and start filling it out too. So it's not that bad. But it's something I got to remember. So right now, these two pretty much have to get done still close to the end of the month, as close to the end of the month as possible. This guy is my social media planner. So I said I had a memory keeper type book. This is strictly a planner. I just started using this in the month of July, and I absolutely love this, so much so that I'm like thinking about, I don't think I want to purchase a new planner, but I might like copy this setup for my own like Bujo next year. That's how much I'm enjoying it. So this calendar is extremely important. So I have to fill out this calendar. However, it's because of this calendar that I think I need to do my setup earlier in the month. So like middle of the month, like I'm thinking like maybe second to that third week of the month type thing, because I really need to start planning for the next month as soon as I can type thing. This month I like started planning all of my videos during the month, and they changed like 100 times, and this is super inaccurate right now. I'm not doing a budget on the 31st because I haven't even, you saw it's still blank and it's the 30th. I didn't do an August setup for my Passion Planner Weekly, which is my fitness and wellness. So you can see I'm off track. So that's the reason why I really need to set this up a lot earlier. So maybe I can do some of the advanced filming and things like that. This I'm not even using. Then this stuff is also something that I can kind of start setting up halfway through the month for the next month, because I'm going to know what I need to do. Things that didn't make it on this list this month, or I'm like, I don't know that I'm going to get to it this month. Like I already think I'm just going to push it off. I can go ahead and add it. These are video ideas again, so I can write this and then I check off as I do certain tasks. And here's a brain dump. So that can also be utilized early. So that's why I really want to start setting this up. Probably the second to third week of the month for the next month. The weeklies, I just been doing pen. I know it doesn't look very full, but y'all, this is perfect, okay? It's perfect. It shouldn't be that full because it's just social media, and I don't like plan out every single part of my social media. So this is great. I just need to set it up a lot sooner than what I'm doing. So again, this one needs to be done second to third week of the month. All right, now I'm going to be chatting about my catch-all planners. This is new, okay? This is going to now be my weekly overview. I started the year in a Hell of a Plan dashboard planner. I know this is about setup, so I feel like it means I'm changing my lineup again. I need to chat about it. Then I was like, well, do I need an on-the-go and a weekly overview? If this has a weekly overview, can I just use this as my weekly overview and then go from 3 to 2? It didn't work because this has to go from my work bag to my desk and then back to my work bag and then back to my desk. And I will say, every time I need this planner when I'm at work or doing something out of the house, I have forgotten to put it in my work bag. So with that said, this is going to be strictly an on the go. It's already set up for the month. That's it. That's the setup. This was an outdated planner, so it had a Sunday start. So I had to just change it to a Monday start, and all the dates fall in line now. I haven't even whited out the year. I will be setting this up week to week. I started out being decorative in this. I think I'm going to now be functional. The last 2 weeks was strictly functional, especially if I'm adding this in. This is going to be strictly pen. You will still see it on my channel because I think I really do like to film for you guys. The videos about my weekly resets and me actually like using these 3 planners. Well, it was 2, but these 3 planners in combination with one another. So you will still see it. It's just not going to be decorated. So let's talk about this one because this one also does not need to be set up for the month. This one has the monthly calendar and it has weekly pages. The monthly calendar of this and this are probably going to be identical. They're probably going to be duplicative. So when I cut this video, I'm going to go ahead and add all of this to this. Because again, this is on the go. So I'm utilizing it in 2 different places. This, honestly, the reason why it's already set up because I went ahead and redated it at the end of last year. I just did the entire planner. But I add my appointments and any other things that are already scheduled for the next month as they get scheduled. So, like, I already have things on the schedule for September. So, it's already set up. I was decorating it from like January to June. I don't know that I'm going to decorate this anymore. I feel like I have a lot going on, so this is one less thing to worry about. Plus, it's a lot to like worry about the dailies sometimes. I haven't even been decorating those, which is fine because I've been using them functionally, y'all. I know this isn't about the dailies, but look, I've been using them functionally. Just saying. So these really don't need to be set up because they should be, you know, filled in intermittently as things pop up. This one I just set up before I filmed this video when I decided to add this to my lineup. I just decided to add it to my lineup and I'm like, let's go ahead and set it up. So this one is going to be set up at the very end of the month or very beginning of the other month. So this one also cannot be changed because I kind of want all the information from every planner into this, and I need to pretty much have a lot of the other ones set up in order to do this. Just FYI what the colors mean. For this month, the pinks are my bills or any payments due. The blues are work things that are scheduled, and then the greens are actual appointments that are scheduled. I'm going to fill that in with text, with writing in a bit. I just was like, you know, I should film a video. So I stopped and filmed the video. So I did decorate this. I don't know if I'm going to decorate it all the time. I might, because as you can tell, none of my planners pages are really getting decorated anymore. None of the calendars. So this will be the only calendar really getting decorated for the month. So I may just do that just because. It's the only calendar getting decorated when it comes to my planners. But yeah, so I need to set this up. They do have monthly reflections. So I definitely could use the monthly reflections to kind of help guide things. And I could use some of these pages for goals. If I wanted to still kind of have a goals portion without having it in a separate place. But for this month, we're just going to kind of just work on incorporating this planner back in, you know, I don't want to say back into my lineup, but incorporating a weekly planner back into my lineup. Just as a side note, the reason why I went with this instead of using the other 6 months in the Caliva plan or a horizontal that I have as well is because while I'm using a discount system for my financial tracking and I have Frankenplan that with the weekly overview, I just don't gravitate toward the disc bound throughout the week. So I end up ignoring it a lot throughout the week. My hope is with this, I'll just have both of these on my work desk and I can just go ahead and visit them both together at the same time. So that's the reason why I went with this. I really hate to kind of start a 12-month planner in August, but I feel like, you know, if I continue this throughout the end of the year, I'll still have 7 months left. And then I can keep this on my shelf. And if, you know, next year I use a different planner and I get bored at some point, I can come back to this for a month just to take a break from the other planner and then hop back into it. Or, you know, maybe I want to try this layout out for another purpose. I can play around in it for the extra months. Plus, I only paid $3 for it. So I'm not that heartbroken if I only used it for 5 months and 7 months were empty. So yeah, this one does have to stay at the end of the month, beginning of the month setup. So yeah, that was a lot, y'all. I think I'm stressed out even more, even though I decided that certain things can be moved. So like all of these, like these don't get set up. So we'll put those off to the side. This needs to be at end of the month, beginning of the month. Let's just take this out of the cover. My fitness and wellness needs to be at end of the month, beginning of the month. My financial, end of the month, beginning of the month. Currently, my reading journal also needs to do that. And I think that's it for like starting next month. It would be nice if these are the only 4 planners and journals that I have to think about for setups. I guess we can add this one in too. It's not really that much of a setup, but that would be it. And then come middle August, so week 2 and week 3, I can come in, set up this one, and this one for September. I like that. I like it. I do think when you have multiple things that you're trying to juggle, it is probably a good idea to try to figure out what you can kind of, you know, do setups when. When can you do certain setups? You know, even weeks. It's probably like certain planners you can probably set up for the next week early in the week. Like you could probably set up for a Wednesday, like on Wednesday, for the following week for some planners, but some of them you really may need to wait until Saturday or Sunday to set it up. Like my catch-alls, I probably need to wait till the last possible minute to set up the weeklies. But this isn't about the weeklies. This was about the monthlies. I kind of hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done a video of this kind. I hadn't seen one done before. I do think everything that I just said verbally, I am going to go and write it in here. So I kind of have a plan in place for when I ideally would like to set up certain planners. And when I start doing my weekly planner setup, which I probably will be filming some of those, I think when we talk about to-do lists for the week, I will start putting some of these setups and the to-do list, so I can kind of bring it to the forefront of my brain and hopefully get it done, so we don't have a repeat of August where I'm like, oh my goodness, August is 36 hours away and I have all of this I still need to set up. All right, guys, I hope you're in a better situation than me, but if not, hey, we'll get through it together. With that said, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please press that like button if you did. And if you've yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. If you also couldn't tell, I think my planning is getting a little bit more functional. I will be having a little bit more functional plan with me probably this coming month, especially because I haven't actually scheduled any videos or filmed any August videos yet. I think I'm going to have to do a lot of fly by the seat of my pants type videos, which means there'll probably be a little bit more functional videos on my channel as well. So if that kind of content, you know, sounds like a good thing to you, as well as some of my fun journaling spreads, and definitely hit that subscribe button as well. That is finally all I have for now. I'm losing my voice, so I definitely need to end this video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.